Okay, so in this video we're going to show the simple machine usage from the right side to the left. The first thing we're going to do here is we're going to place this is called a chase. This holds 2 screens at a time, and you can see very clearly here, this is the front of the chase, making sure not to place it backwards. There is actually there's something here on the back side that actually says rear, so we want to make sure that this here is always saying front on the front side, because if it goes in backwards it will actually get stuck in the machine. So the next step is we're going to place 2 screens in the chase. We have to remove all the tape from the screens first, okay? This machine will actually the pump in the machine will get clogged if we do not remove all the tape first. So we want to quickly and as neatly as possible remove all the tape from the screens. And if you notice here, the way he placed the screens in the chase, the screens basically the side where all the ink is, which is considered the inside of the screen, is facing front, okay? And now he's going to use a spatula to remove whatever residual ink is left on the screen. And you can see here now, there's not much ink left on the screen, which means that the chemical in the machine will last longer. Also, there is some ink on the frame here, and after this goes through the machine, we're going to make sure to wipe all those frames, inside, outside, front and back, just to make sure that there are no more bits of either adhesive, ink, even bits of tape left on there. So here's the second screen. Same thing, the tape was removed first, and now the ink is being scraped off. Right now you can hear the machine running. So you can see here this chamber, which is that chamber right there. That's the second chamber. There is currently a screen inside being pressure washed. This chamber is this first chamber right here, which is where this chase is going to go inside. And that first chamber is where chemical is applied, both ink remover and emulsion remover. The second chamber is just pressure washing. So Paul's going to now insert this first chase by pressing, first he presses this button. That button will open the side door right here, and he will now manually push the chase in about halfway, and then at the halfway point the machine will actually grab the chase and insert it the rest of the way. It'll automatically close the doors when it's ready. And now you can see here the first chamber is spraying chemical. Okay, that second chamber that was making all the noise earlier, the pressure washer chamber, seems to have finished pressure washing. And let's check the back area. It should, yep. So it's already popped out here. This was the chase and screens that were in the second chamber being pressure washed. If you look very closely, there's still a speck of emulsion right here. There's some ink on the frame, and then even here on the bottom one, there's some haze. So Paul right now has a spray bottle, and that is dehazer. We use Easy Solve 701, non-diluted, and quick little spray of dehaze. He'll do the same for the screen on bottom, scrubbing it. This is going to ensure that when we go to coat the screens again, they are completely clean, and it's less likely to have a screen breakdown. So now he's going to pressure wash it. after he does this, he's going to do a final rinse just to make sure there's no chemical or ink left on there. One thing I do want to mention is this screen does actually have a hole right here. So we may actually just set this aside and put it into our re-stretch pile. Anytime you see, you know, rips, tears like these or holes, we should actually just go ahead and set those aside so we can get those screens re-stretched with fresh mesh and no tears. This one on the bottom here, it doesn't look like there's any tears. It looks pretty intact. We just need to do the same thing, apply dehazer and scrub it front and back, and then pressure wash it. But once that's completed, we will set that into our screen room on a rack to dry, and then once it's fully dried, we will then recoat it with emulsion. So here you can see scrubbing the inside, and then he'll scrub the outside. And then he'll hit it with the pressure washer. You can still see a little bit of ghost image. He'll probably have to spray 701 one more time here, directly on there, and then just scrub that area. There may still be a ghost image left on there, but as long as there's no solid particles left, it shouldn't affect us when we go to coat. Still a little bit of an image, but after we go through the coating process and when we burn the screen, if the screen for some reason breaks down in that area, we may have to use a stronger dehazer, but for now I think that this will actually be able to be coated. And you can actually see here, there's another chase that's coming out of the machine. So he quickly removed that chase so that we can make space for the next set that's coming out. And we're gonna go through the same process to make sure that those screens are fully clean before we put them on our drying racks to be coated again.